Good morning, all you lovely little darlings. We just got back from church, and it's Jin Jin. I wish that I could be like you. Have you ever said that to someone? I wish that I could be like you. I think we all have. It's okay to have a mentor or somebody to look up to, but you know what? You are the only you that there will ever be. I have heard people say, I wish I could be like you, or I wish I could do what you do. And you know what? That's not good. It is okay to admire traits of other people. It's okay to see something that they can do and say, gosh, that'd be really cool to try to do that. Well, you know what? You can do things that other people do and still maintain who you are. But if you're saying things like, I wish I could be you, then I think you need to look a little deeper past the talent or the skill or the whatever it happened to be. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God made you with a purpose. He made you very individual. He gave you a soul that only you will ever have. You are made in the likeness of God. You are made in the image of God. So just saying that makes you a miraculous, one of a kind, really valuable creation. So instead of wishing that you could be someone else, why don't you look at it like, well, if I don't like this thing about myself, I can change it. That's the nice thing about being human. We can change things. We can change, if we don't know something, we can learn it. If we don't like our hair, we can cut it or curl it or change it or color it, whatever. If we don't like the way that we're dressing, we can change that. If we don't like our job, we can go find a new one. If we're not educated enough, we can go get the education necessary to do the thing we want to do. If we don't know how to play an instrument, we can learn how to do it. If you don't like how you are, if there's an aspect of yourself that you don't like, don't say, I want to be someone else. Don't say you want to be like someone else. How about you say, I want to be a new, improved version of myself? But to do that, you have to take the steps necessary and to acknowledge that there are flaws and faults in your life that you don't really like. It's okay not to like things about yourself. But the thing is, if you're the only one looking at yourself saying, I don't like this about myself, but everybody else thinks you're pretty okay, you might look at, are you being just really critical of yourself? It took me a long time to get to a place where I liked myself. And that probably sounds really stupid, but you have to like yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. Did you know you cannot love other people if you don't love yourself? You can't. You have to have some respect for yourself and some love for yourself before you can truly love someone else. And you can admire other people. You can take on traits like a style, or if you like that someone speaks very properly and you think, gosh, that's really cool, I wish I could do that. Well, you can learn it. If someone lives a lifestyle that you really want, if they can do it, you can do it. Are you willing to put the work in? See, that's the thing, is we look at people all the time and there's a weird quirk about people. Usually jealousy and bullying and the nonsense that happens in high school. This happens in the adult world too, but in high school, when you are bullied or picked on because of something, it usually means that the person picking on you wishes that they had the trait in you that you have, that they admire. Sometimes when you're being picked on, bullied, or there's something about you that someone else just gives you garbage over, it's usually because they wish that they had that trait too. But the natural response of a young person is to, well, they're just too perfect. I don't like them. Have you ever been called too perfect? Yeah, I have. Oh my Lord, Mary Poppins, I am not. I just am not. She's practically perfect in every way, and I'm probably about 6 steps a little below Mary Poppins. But the thing is I do the best that I can, and I'm happy with me. And so I have a very unique style. So I do what I want to do. And you have to hit that point where if you want to be like someone else because there's something about them that you like, then do that. But maintain your own integrity. They got a cool dressing style, try it. I love vintage clothing. I love historical, what they call history bounding. I sew really well, so I make really unique things when I have time to do it. But people would not necessarily wear some of the things that I would wear. They would not necessarily do some of the things that I do. But I have just really bizarre pieces in my wardrobe. But the thing is sometimes it has nothing to do with your physical appearance, what you wear. It has more to do with what's in you. If someone is very helpful, smart, always seems to be on top of their game, always has time for other people, and you say, gosh, I wish I could be like them. Well, then maybe your problem is time management. Maybe you have not reached out. I wish I could. Well, have you tried to do it? Have you tried to do it? Have you tried making a schedule and saying, I have 4 extra hours this weekend and I really want to do something helpful, or I need to learn something. So how about you time management and take the time to learn or to do the volunteer work or to practice walking pretty or doing your hair in a certain style or speaking in a better way, trying to remove slang from your vocabulary or whatever it is you're trying to do. It takes time and it takes practice to change what is inherently you. There are things that you don't want to change though. When God made us all individually, you can change your behavior, to your demeanors, and these things can be better or worse. But when God made us, He made us individuals for a reason. Have you noticed that people will come into your life and they will impact you in a certain way, and then they float off, but you have learned something from it? People enter your life for a short period of time, and sometimes they stay, and sometimes they've taught you something and left, but they always leave that imprint on you. And that's a good thing to do, but you can say, well, I admire that about that person, or I learned this from that person. And you have to pick and choose, because in the end, the closer you stay to the truest version of you, and we've talked about this before, truest version of you is that person that you are when you're all by yourself. And if you're not happy with that person, then you probably need to work on some stuff. But take time to really think about what it is that needs changed and make sure that it's legitimate. Something you don't like about yourself may be perfectly wonderful to someone else, because if you're saying, I really wish I could be like them, is it possible they've said the same thing about you? For that matter, do you have the right to be critical of God's creation, which you are? None of us are perfect. None of us are Mary Poppins. None of us are exactly what we want to be. But if we were born, all of us, very perfect and exactly what we wanted to be, wouldn't this planet be a very boring place to live, with no room for growth, no room for change, and no room for opportunity? So I would encourage you that instead of saying, I wish I could be like them, or I wish I were them, take a real deep look at yourself and see who's looking at you that thinks you're pretty fantastic. Now, this video was actually aimed at one young lady in particular, but I think that it's a good lesson for everyone. So, young lady, I know you're watching this. I think you are amazing. I think you are beautiful. I think you are funny and you are smart. And I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be you, because it is the you that you are that makes me love you so much. So be the creation God made you to be. I love you guys, and I will talk to you all later. You guys have a good day.